Alright, I'm going to make this really short and sweet. So, my husband fell asleep like at exactly like close to 3 p.m. It was about like 2:40, right? And he had said he had heard what sounded like a spirit whispering something, but he couldn't exactly fully understand what the heck was being said because he was already, going to sleep. And so he just kind of really wasn't there. And, I stayed awake because I'm just like that. I'm really overprotective. I don't fuck around. You know what I mean? And so, he was beginning to wake up, and then that's when I realized he had this really massive, what looked like a claw mark towards like his hip area, and at one point I noticed that it branded him. It put the number 2 there. And what horrifies me is that I also had a number written on me, and actually it also was the number 2. I'm not exactly sure what that signifies. I'm not sure what it means, but when I looked it up on the net, it said that is a symbol of a witch. So the thing about my husband and I is that we are both Christian. We are both believers. We do away with negative energy more now than ever. We have so much planned out for the future. We are both looking to start our independent small businesses. One thing that I want to do, but let me finish with the paranormal activity. So to sum things up with that, he had like what looked like a claw mark on his hip, and then the number 2. When I got it, it was in the same exact spot, right on my hip, and it burned. Like, and it ain't like you get burned with a stove or you get burned with a piece of fire. Like, it stung for like what felt like a month-long period of time. And thankfully nothing has happened. I've had a lot of things paranormal going on in our house, which is one of the biggest factors why we all want to get the hell up out of here. We are actually looking to get rid of a lot of our furniture, which I think for the most part we have. I think the last 2 and most critical ones is the sofa that we have, as well as the kitchen table. They were both given to me. I gotta say that the kitchen table that we have was given to me by one of my siblings shortly thereafter the birth of my son. And so it did kind of have some sentimental value until I came to the full acknowledgement of how they viewed me, how they saw me, and how they continued to treat my family and I. Number 1, number 2, they also gave us the bed that we sleep on, so I'm wondering if the things that they are giving us were previously cursed by the previous owners. The bed was previously owned by my mom and her husband. The couch was owned by a much, much, much older woman who was a co-worker of my older sister. And so I really am highly suspicious of that. I really feel I've done countless, like I've said in my previous vlogs, I have done countless investigations to see if I can kind of get some answers from these entities as to what the hell is going on. And from what I'm understanding, they said that basically at the right side of the couch, it serves as a portal to hell. And I kid you not, it literally told me it is a portal to hell. Like, and you gotta understand that when you are a paranormal investigator, it opens you up to so much messed up shit. So, having full faith, in the Creator and myself and, my family as a whole, it's so vital. It's essential, as a matter of fact, so these entities don't take advantage of that. if you understand what I'm trying to say. And so at this particular point, I really feel like there was a double standard or a double meaning in giving us this furniture. I no longer see it as something done that was done out of purity, innocence, and love and compassion. I think that there was a double effing meaning, and I was just dumb and naive because it was right around the time when I almost passed away. This was just back in 2019 when I gave birth to my second son, and yes, I am pregnant again, and we're blessed. I'm just hoping that the pregnancy, with the complications that I'm having right now, I'm just hoping that I heal, which I think I'm on track to heal. I've been taking probiotics. For those of you who don't know, if you are a girl and you ever get a yeast infection or bacterial vaginosis, I believe is what they call it, you can take probiotic yogurt. It has to contain a specific amount of live cultures and the good active ones. So what you can do is easily just look at the label, and if it says active cultures and probiotics and etc., then yeah, that's the thing for you. That's Activia. I swear to you, I don't even know what it is, but Activia has just done wonders for me. I've already begun having that heartburn, so I know the baby's going to be super duper hairy, just like my sons were. But this is not about my kids. This is not about the pregnancy. This is about paranormal activity. Like, my husband was literally scratched and branded by an entity in this house not even a couple hours ago. And never mind that, but my oldest daughter, when I came downstairs, because I spend much of my time observing my youngest son and my husband resting, which I know it sounds kind of awkward, but with all the paranormal activity, there's power in numbers, if that makes sense. So when there's more people in one spot, it's a little bit less likely to mess with you. And so basically, to sum things up, after he got that, I started taking pictures, and actually, I wonder if I can kind of edit them a little bit, and I can show you exactly what I mean. Like, this shit's scary. If you've ever experienced paranormal activity, it is a parallel universe. It is absolutely real. You cannot believe in the Bible without believing in the paranormal. They go hand in hand. The Creator himself is a supernatural entity, so you just gotta know where to put that energy towards. And prayer, man, I swear to you, prayer has just been a way out of all this insanity. Like, I notice when we pray, it just clears the air, it changes the environment as a whole, and whatever witch is trying to befall on our family, her deeds are failing massively. I plan to do like a prayer circle with my 4 kids, and we are going to do that prayer circle after dinner, most likely, around my husband. We are going to put some music on, and we are going to pray this entity away from my husband. And there's nothing more powerful than the name of Jesus. So I'm hoping that I don't need a hope. I know. I have full faith, in the living word. So I know that we're going to receive that restoration. I know that it'll work. I myself I'm strong in my faith. So this is why, this thing, whatever it is not working. And so I definitely plan to do that. And basically, it's just essential that we do that for my husband at this point, so that whatever it is doesn't continue to latch on and disturb him. I will tell you myself, I've been having an entity disturb me for like close to upward 3 months. They try to mess with what you see, you hear, your thoughts, everything. And when you are fully afflicted, they use you as a host. So it can be and is very dangerous. And so I've been just really kind of listening to a lot of worship music, I've been praying a lot. You know, things are like starting to slowly and gradually change, and I do notice that change. But again, I believe I know the witch that is doing this. She works at a local grocery store in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is not even 6 minutes away from my house, which ironically is a grocery store that we constantly go to. And one of the things that I think is the most illest or strangest rather is that every time my family and I are there, she's always giving my husband, myself, and all of our kids dirty looks, but especially my youngest daughter. I don't think she really realizes that my 3 younger kids are all gifted spiritually, which can be a blessing and a curse at the same time. But, you know, it talks about that in the scriptures. It talks about, you know, having these capabilities and, you know, how to navigate that and send that back to God, you know. And if it's something that horrifies you, you just give it back to him, and he just, like, immediately will take that away from you. However, I have the ability to have premonitions, and, you know, my husband woke up in a state of panic this morning. He said that he had some kind of premonition of a shooting happening, and ironically in the morning there was a shooting with 1 victim and a few others running for their lives. So, with that being said, we are definitely a family that is gifted, but we don't put our attention on those gifts necessarily, but we focus them on Christ. You know, we understand that level of capability, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. So going back to this activity, I will edit those photos. I will post what happened to my husband. My oldest daughter, when I came downstairs, said that her little brother was pushed from the 2nd stair, causing him to fall. So we're extraordinarily blessed and lucky that my son didn't get injured. But my husband and I have also been pushed off the stairs ourselves. I have personally been grabbed by this entity, and basically held against my will until I overexerted myself, and I was finally able to run upstairs and get free of this thing, whatever it is. But I'm telling you right now, as soon as we move, I'm not going to welcome anything up in that house. I'm just like, it has to be God in his purest form. You know what I mean? Because I don't want anything like that. Like, to live through paranormal activity is the most horrifying thing that anybody or their children can literally live through. Not only that, but it can be extraordinarily dangerous. And especially when you don't know the kind of encounters that you may have. For example, my husband and I both got physically pushed down the stairs. He got scratched, I got scratched, and so much more. And so, thankfully, the kids have been the less or least affected, but it doesn't take away from all this stuff. And so, I think at this point it's critical to pray for each other. I do gotta say, I feel like I know who's doing this to us. I feel like she's the lady from the grocery store, because right here she has a satanic tattoo. And, you know, usually Satanists are negative people, period. So, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. There's just not. You know what I mean? So, I mean, at this point, we're better off playing it safe than we are any other way. And what way to do that than to be closest to God? You know what I mean? Alright, y'all. Peace.